I did learn a derogatory name or word for gay in
What?
Spanish.
Oh,
is it?
well, don't say it. You're gonna get us kicked off Twitch.
Invertido. It also means inverted. So,
Oh, it's kind of
so
fucked
that's-
up.
like in the last episode, the father like goes up to the son and he's like, "Are you inverted?" And I was
That's like
"Hold
new
on. What is that?" And I
homophobic
had to
tech
type
where it's
that
like,
in.
you're so wrong, you're backwards just by being gay.
No, see, you got to learn from Elite. I got to learn from holding the light from my Tio as he worked on his car.
The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, we raid pussy on its replayability.
Shall we play a game?
Meow, 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 meow.
You got several things to do. You got work, kids in school. What do you do when it's all over?
How do you hand something from one player to another?
Dark soul with light. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan. I am Joe,
I'm Zach!
I'm A4.
and today we are going to be reviewing the game Stray, a new classic nominated for Game of the Year from one of the Game Awards that
That's
people
like
care about.
Crazy. No, it's like nominated for like Game of the Year, I think.
You know what, man?
We're gonna
spoiler on the review. I can see why.
Yeah,
I
we
can
are
definitely see
we're definitely going to get into it.
You don't like it?
We're going to decide whether or not it's actually Game of the Year because
our opinion is the only one that matters.
It is the only one that met the Nude Clan Game Awards. The final Nude Clan Game Awards next year are the only thing that are going to matter, and only two games will be up for nomination because we only played two new games.
And it's God of War. Anyway,
it's God of War and Stray.
No,
but,
we played Elden Ring.
Oh, and Elden Ring. Oh,
the real true Game of the Year.
Elden Ring.
The Game of the Year.
The scores will decide, though. You can do your personal nominations, but the scores actually tell the truth. Our perfect, flawless scoring system, as per the episode on Celeste, really, really underlines how good our scoring system is. Yeah. So, but before we get into any of that, what has everyone been playing? We'll go alphabetically. A4.
So I've been playing more of God of War, the original, the PS2 one. Starting that series off, quite enjoying it.
Good, you should. You should.
Also been playing a bit of New Super Mario Brothers, just on my off time, like the very first one, the DS one.
Oh,
because I picked it up again after not having it for years. So like whenever I'm like rendering out a video or something, or just like using my PC where it's like I can't boot up fucking Spider-Man right now because it's gonna destroy my fucking graphics card, I'll just play New Super Mario Brothers instead. I was gonna try and finish Dragon Quest IV, but I kind of like forgot what I was supposed to be doing, and that game is not great about like telling you where you are and like where you need to go in terms of like if you've put it down for a long time. Like some games kind of have like a feature where they'll like recap that
someone
stuff.
in the village will.
No, I mean something. like literally like an example is like Pokemon Fire.
If you find the egg, you'll find the path to the thing.
No, but I mean like in like Pokemon Red, like when you boot it up after not playing for a bit, it will tell you like the last few like key things you did. Not that Pokemon's like a hard game to get lost in, but
I don't remember that.
Ran into that.
I don't think I remember that at all. Yeah.
Game or anything like that.
I don't know how many like modern RPGs do that, but Dragon Quest IV does not. And I hadn't played it for like 2-3 months because I was playing like Valkyria Chronicles and some other shit. So I'm like 20 hours in and I'm like, I think I got to restart this game because I straight up don't remember what I was supposed to be doing. And like, I was playing it so off and on that like, I'm not even liking it as much as Dragon Quest III, which is weird because people really like Dragon Quest IV. That's like a really popular entry in the franchise.
Probably restart it when you get time.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to give this a fair shake. I don't want to I don't want to hate it because I've been like playing for like 2 days and then put it down for like 2 months and then I'm like, where was I again?
Right.
So yeah, New Super Mario Brothers is now taking up my DS time. And I've also
just in time for the new movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really. And I've also just been putting a ton of time into Spider-Man. Really, really good game. I forgot
After
Miles.
you talk so much shit, bro. You talk so much shit.
I didn't talk shit about Spider-Man.
And then you play these games, and you're like, "Oh, they're fun."
No, I figured Spider-Man was good because it's made by Insomniac, like a good studio that makes video
You
games.
should. With what you're just gonna say though, you should play the Miles Morales game, even though it's short. It is just as fun, and you get new abilities.
I want to
He
get
has
it.
like a spider bite or whatever, does like this electric shit, and go invisible.
Yeah,
That it keeps a lot of the old stuff that makes the first one fun, but this 1.5 gives you just enough that you're like sick.
I
Like,
want to
it
get
can do
it.
some sweet shit.
It came out on PC a couple weeks ago, so I'm like, well, I already
Oh,
have
nice.
the PS4 one on here, so I might as well get Miles Morales either when it's on sale or just when I feel like playing more Spider-Man.
I mean,
'Cause
they're gonna have a Christmas sale next little bit on Steam, right? Like
probably
they have to.
But
So I mean,
I'm loving the first one so far. Just did a shitload of the open world stuff. Like I already got all the pigeons. I already got all the Black Cat stuff. I already got all the landmarks and like all the Fisk hideouts. So just one of those games where I pop on a podcast and just fucking literally go to town and just
right.
handle shit around New York.
I mean, but that's rad because like it's to me that shows how good of a game is when you actively want to do the side quests too. Like that was when I was playing like the Batman Arkham games. I replayed those a shit ton.
Yes.
I
It's
love
a good
because
comparison.
the side quests are fucking awesome.
Yeah, because they're
And I'm
everywhere.
hoping like my only complaint about the Spider-Man side quests is some of them are like, oh hey, it's Harry Osborn and I don't like pollution, so let's go figure out like what's causing the most pollution in New York. And I'm like, how about I fight a villain?
I don't even mind.
Spider-Man's-
I don't even mind the research stations because they always have like a different like gameplay gimmick to mix things up. Like I just did one where like I had to keep bacteria in his web fluid, but it like dissolves the web fluid when you swing, so you have to get around without swinging. You can only like zip line. So I was basically just zipping to like telephone poles and jumping off them, and then doing the little like whenever you press like X in there,
and like
it like lets you zip forward a few times.
yeah, I mean like it's not that it's not fun. Spider-Man just has so many villains that you could put so many bullshit people in there that are just C and D class villains that it could be a fun little side mission.
Right.
But that being said, the second game looks fucking rad with like Venom and Kraven the Hunter and stuff. So
are there like trailers for that yet at all?
yeah, there's one trailer that looks fucking sweet.
Okay, because
It's a
I
teaser
thought they had
trailer.
like announced the sequel, but I wasn't really paying
Yeah,
much attention.
that's how I know Kraven and Venom are in it because of the trailer.
Yeah.
So
That's-
it looks sick. But
I mean,
they're fun. They're fun games.
As far as the villains they have in there right now, it's fine. Like I already fought fucking Shocker and
Oh yeah.
I always get Shocker and Electro mixed up. I think.
Shocker's the one that like you probably fought. I think Shocker's the first one you actually fight after.
In like the
Fisk.
bank,
I'm
right?
pretty sure. Yep, that's Shocker. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm like, okay, he's not electric. He's got like the vibration shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like you're working with Doc Ock at the beginning of the game, and I'm just waiting for like, okay, when's he gonna turn bad? Like it's gonna happen. Also, funny thing.
I know. It's lore.
Funny thing. Doc Ock in that game is voiced by Rigby from Regular Show.
He really?
Yeah. Once you hear it, you're like, oh, that's definitely Rigby from Regular
Oh
Show.
my god, I didn't realize that. That
Yeah.
ruins things a little bit for me.
Yeah. Fucking news 4 or 5 years too late. Spider-Man PS4 is a good game, as it turns out. Which I'm sure I'll be saying the same thing when I finally get around to playing God of War PS4. I have it sitting over there. I just got to beat 2 and 3 before I get
Greatest
to
game
it.
of all time, according to the only charts that matter.
Number 3.
You were
is so
saying our
fun, though, too.
perfect flawless rating system, but when I beat the God of War PS4 game, I'm gonna have to give you my rankings to see if it would in fact ruin the perfect score. So we'll see.
I also hate that they changed Peter Parker's face, but it's not just the PC version; it is PS5 as well. I hate it. The original face for the PS4 one that I have before the update is awesome. It's good. It was a good Spider-Man. This new one looks weird, and I'm sorry to the voice actor who does it.
Yeah, I got a buddy online who, when I was like streaming it on Discord playing it, he was remarking how like they changed the face from PS4 and just to make it, I guess, look more like Tom Holland.
It looks apparently it's supposed to look more like the voice actor as well, like it's a mix. And I just don't.
I don't know what Yuri
I like
Lowenthal
the-
looks like, actually.
I don't either, but I like the original face they had for Peter Parker.
I mean, the facial capture on the people in that game is fucking stellar. That game looks amazing.
Yeah. It's
Um,
pretty good.
I'm assuming I'm playing a PS5 comparable version on
Right.
PC, but yeah, it looks fucking
Just
dope.
so the listeners at home on the podcast don't realize, this is actually a Spider-Man PS4 review.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. This is what we're reviewing today now.
Is Ultima Spider-Man the Ultimate
Ultimate
Spider-Man, podcast?
Yeah.
That could be kind of fun with all the Spider-Man games they have, because some of the old ones are fucking super fun.
I didn't realize Spider-Verse 2 got pushed to 2023, which is probably good because if it had come out I thought it was going to come out this month. Like I remember it getting teased for like 2022. It's probably good that it got pushed back because that means that Turning Red can't fucking steal the fucking best animated feature Oscar from it, which is probably what would have happened.
I don't think Turning Red came out in the movie theater, so it's not going to.
Yeah, it did.
Did it?
No, I don't think it did. I think that was like the last
did it?
Pixar
I thought
movie
it
that
did.
didn't get released in theaters because of COVID.
Maybe
Is that a
it did.
qualifier? Because like,
Yeah,
didn't
it's a
other Pixar
qualifier.
movies
It has
win
to
other
be out-
years?
It has to be out in New York and LA for 2 weeks in the movie theater at least.
Well,
That's what makes it a qualifier. That's what they don't do TV movies. They don't do any of that. That's what.
either
that's
way,
what
Turning Red
defines
does not
them.
deserve a fucking Oscar for anything.
That's what defines them against the Emmys.
Okay. Wow.
Is that qualifier?
That movie sucked anyway, so I would have been mad if it got fucking.
I've never seen it. I don't care. But
It's just not good.
Or doesn't like it because it is a movie for teenage girls, and he feels like he needs to be a teenage girl. So he
No, it's
doesn't
because
enjoy it.
it's a fucking like completely selfish, self-indulgent like fantasy
it didn't
of
get
the
very
director.
good reviews. I'm kind of it's
And like even for a Pixar movie, it's very annoying and very vapid, which is like it's Pixar. Like those movies used to like be a big event when they came out. And now every Pixar like I don't know, I saw Onward a couple
it
months
did get
ago.
Good reviews.
And Onward was like fine. It didn't blow my mind or anything, but it was like okay. But that one
I
got
like
forgotten
Onward a
because
I did too.
Onward got released like right before everything shut the fuck down. So that's why everyone forgot about it. And I don't think Disney Plus was a thing yet in 2020, early 2020.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was.
I don't know.
I
I'm just
don't remember.
I'm just saying that movie got like completely
Yeah.
fucking shit on by COVID.
Onward was one of the last movies I saw in the movie theater. It was like Onward, Invisible Man, and Emma
Mm.
were all out around the same time. Like that early spring.
Yeah.
And they were all fantastic. I really
Dude.
I cried a lot when I watched Onward. I really
The
I
last
liked it.
movie-
yeah.
The last movie I saw in
Soul
theaters-
was okay.
I haven't seen
I
Soul
haven't
yet.
seen that one.
Uh,
The
Or
last movie I
Luca.
saw in
We'll get around to
theaters was
That's
the
a
one that
beautiful
got
ending.
banned in the U.S.
what one got banned in the U.S.?
It was the one I can't remember what it's called now. It's the one where they get kidnapped and they're like the rich people are hunting them down.
It didn't get banned.
It did. I read it. It got banned, bro.
Banned?
Yeah, like they don't like. Yeah, it
Banned? Who
yeah,
can ban it?
after. Yeah.
What
dude,
movie are you
what's the movie?
talking about?
I can't remember what it's called.
That one. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the title of it. What do you mean by banned, though?
The
What do you
most
mean by
dangerous
banned?
game? I don't know. Like
That's like when they say like a book was banned. It's like, oh yeah,
I'll
one
find it.
fucking podunk school somewhere decided they didn't want it in their library. Therefore,
Fuck,
they
I
banned
can't remember
it.
what it's
either way,
called. It's
I
gonna
had the
bug me.
best.
It's gonna
I had the
bug me a
best
lot.
series of bookends when it came to last movie saw before COVID and first movie seen after COVID. Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Perfect bookends. Two great films, except I don't even really like the first one that much. Sonic 2 is a genuinely great movie, though. Yeah, perfect bookends. Although,
Okay.
did I see Belle before I saw Sonic 2? I can't remember. Belle kind of sucked. Beautiful movie, but the plot's kind of meh. It's an anime movie.
All
All right,
Well,
A4. Did you play anything else?
Yeah, I played asking Joe what he played because it's alphabetical order apparently.
I played. This may surprise you. Limb Hacker Simulator.
Please just call it by its real name.
Yeah, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. The dumbest, worse title than the made-up name that I
No,
just
that is the greatest title of any video game ever. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my god! And
I feel like we said this
then,
last week. Revengeance is like that word says so much with like 14
No!
letters.
Oh, also Dr. Roxo, it's The Hunt. He told us it's The Hunt is the movie we're trying to remember. The Hunt.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. I like that movie a lot.
I
Hmm.
heard it's good, but yeah, it came out at a bad time.
It's pretty funny and fucked up.
I've also played Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
I have made
That
it
has
to
to
the
be-
Pinocchio area.
Oh, that
Pretty
level.
inverted, honestly.
That level fucking blows. Also, that has to be
Which
the
level?
biggest. The
Every
monstro.
level I mention, you go, that level blows.
I was thinking about it more and more like the past couple weeks when you started playing this for the show for UFF, and I'm like, I realized like most of the levels in Kingdom Hearts 1 kind of suck. Like a lot.
I will save my opinions for the review on UFF 5 or 6 years from now.
But I was gonna say
Um,
that's got to be like a huge tonal whiplash going between Revengeance and Kingdom Hearts in terms of like gameplay and tone, because they're both like hack and slash games for the most part.
Yeah, they are, and they both have some silliness about them, and
That's one way to say it. Yeah.
yeah, they both have goofy things in them. In other
You
words.
see, Sora, free will is a myth. Religion is a joke. We are all led by memes, the DNA of the soul.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jesus isn't in either of them. That's
If
why
I could,
don't like
if I
it.
could do the Donald,
I
if
thought
I
he
could do,
was.
if I could do the Donald voice, I would say, "Don't fuck with this senator" in that voice, but I can't.
Don't fuck with the senator. I can't do a Donald voice either.
I don't think most people can do a Donald voice. It's a very, you have to get like air in your cheeks. I have no idea. Yeah, like put your tongue in your fucking, like literally tongue in cheek. Like
I can't do it.
You sound like Donald Duck dying, Joe.
Donald
Like,
Duck
he's sitting
sounds like
there-
Donald Duck dying.
Like, no, Joe was where he was like, and it was a nom, and his like intestines were sliding out of his
We
stomach.
are Donald Duck dying. All right.
Is that your new Donald Duck themed metal band?
Yeah, Donald Duck dying. Donald Duck dying.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg.
Magnetic force. You know what that is?
Is this from the
Force right
monsoon
there.
fight? Because like if that's what you're remembering from the monsoon
Magnetic
fight,
force.
you're remembering.
Earth's force.
I don't remember that fucking line from that fight. And I've played that game like 5 times. I just remember him going like, I just remember him talking about memes and then going like, "You've lost your mind."
God. Yeah, the meme thing is when I checked my phone. By the way, I was like, "Oh god."
That's a shame too, because I think that's the part where you can like freely move the camera because you're like viewing through Raiden's perspective, and if you turn the
Yeah.
camera way to the right, there's a guard off screen that's like petting a cat that you would never see if you didn't turn the camera.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fun.
that game is full of dumb little fucking secrets like that. But I mean, every Metal Gear game is, but like
This is the most bizarre Metal Gear game I've ever played. We will definitely
Probably.
get into it
probably,
when Zach beats it.
yeah.
When Zach beats the 5-hour game.
It's short.
Maybe.
It is short.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. It's a game. It's a game I'm
It's a
playing.
game. It's a
It's
video and a game.
Definitely. Here's the thing. My previous Kingdom Hearts experience, I started with 2. I played and beat 2, and then went back.
Which is
and
a
then
markedly better game, by the way.
got to pretty much where I am. And so I think when I first played Kingdom Hearts 2 and I remembered everything that happened in Kingdom Hearts 2, of which now I remember pretty much nothing. There was like more to it. Like I felt like more attached to the world and was more interested in seeing like what happened, in the past. And now I'm playing it like basically with a clean slate, having not remembered hardly anything about Kingdom Hearts 2. And now I'm like, okay, this game is fucking weird. And it's a weird one to just start with. It's like you were in a town, you had parents, you were on an island, and now it's gone.
Is this Trump describing the plot of Kingdom Hearts 1?
Now you're in a world that
Now you're in Then you find yourself in Traverse Town. Beautiful town. Great town.
It's a beautiful town. Great town. There's squall there, squall and so and
Little fruity. A little bit on the fruity side. You meet Sid. Reminds me of myself when I was younger.
You're just kind of there, and then you see some scenes with some Disney villains, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm going along with this.
I mean,
I have no idea.
You said you
Sora's
started with
past makes no goddamn sense. Like
He
what's
doesn't-
going on in the island makes no sense.
It's not. It's like barely part. Like it doesn't matter to the story. Like Sora's
he's just
Sora's
like,
backstory
He doesn't
doesn't
cry
matter.
over the fact that he's his mom. He left his mom.
That's
back
okay.
there.
That is
And
the
he has,
weirdest
like,
part.
A moment where he's like, oh.
That is
okay,
the
I
weird.
guess
That
I'll-
is the single
guess I'll go
weirdest
fight
part.
Fucking King Mickey.
That is the single weirdest part of Kingdom Hearts 1 is like you hear one line for Sora's mom. And that's it. And it's just like, I guess they had parents.
That's super weird.
No, because then you find
It's
out later.
super weird.
Because then you find out later in Kingdom Hearts 2 that like where they live is like off of that island, like across like a little inlet, I guess. Because like
I see now. I'm
Kyrie's-
glad I don't
Kyrie's
remember
like-
a single thing about Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kyrie's like standing in the town and looking off at the island from the beginning of the first game. So I guess it was just like because they didn't render like their hometown off in the distance for whatever fucking reason. They just make you think they live in this fucking treehouse kids next door island in the middle of the ocean.
That's exactly what you believe, because that's what it is. That's what it shows you.
Yeah, they flesh it out more in Kingdom Hearts 2.
where we never grow up.
They flesh it out in
It's
Kingdom
like-
Hearts 2, but they also like don't touch on like these characters might as well not have parents. They might as well just be like living in like a Lord of the Flies situation where they just live in a town that's fully
what I thought it
furnished.
was.
And
They're like, let's get off of this island because there's like 5 of us here. Like that makes sense to me. But if they got a whole fucking town off it,
we got to get off this island because it's a total sausage fest here. There's like 4 guys and 2 girls, and I am not fucking Waka. Okay, I'm not doing it.
You have to fuck a dude here.
Hey,
'cause there are
also,
more
Kingdom
dudes
Hearts
than
1
women.
confirms that his name is pronounced Titus, not Titus. So, cry more, I
Yeah,
guess.
sure.
He says it. Little
don't believe
Waka
it.
says it. It's voice acted. You can't
I don't
fucking.
give a fuck. Titus's name is never pronounced in the actual game that it comes from. That was the choice of some fucking person in a booth. Okay.
It was also
just
completely
the choice
random. It was also completely
The voice
random.
actor,
Uh,
the director of the voices.
completely random choices for like kids that are on the island with you. It's like there's Titus and there's Waka and then Selfie for some reason.
Yeah.
Sure, throw
Yeah,
her in. Why
Yuffie's-
not?
Oh, I said Selfie earlier for Travis Town, but that was actually Yuffie.
It's
Yuffie's
Yuffie,
in
yeah.
that town. Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
The
don't worry
other-
about Selfie. It's not like Squall doesn't show up 10 minutes later in Traverse Town anyway.
Yeah, Squall grew out a mullet as
Yeah.
well. And
Also, they call him Leon in
Quite
this
an
game.
interesting choice.
Like
Yeah.
he insists on being called Leon. It's the weirdest thing. And I think he's voiced by like one of the actors from Seventh Heaven. I can't fucking remember. Maybe that's Riku. I don't remember.
know.
But yeah, you're sure to get a lot more out of it with all the Final Fantasy cameos than like I did when I was a kid because I'm like I know who Titus is.
Oh.
I
Well,
never
no,
played.
I
8,
started
so-
with Final Fantasy and I went to Kingdom Hearts.
No, I know. I basically
then.
started with Kingdom Hearts and eventually went to Final Fantasy.
That's interesting.
But I knew who like Cloud and Titus were, but I didn't know who like Selfie was or Yuffie or any of that shit. So, yeah, I got that
All
shit
right.
completely backwards.
Zach, what have you been playing?
I have been playing some Revengeance, even though y'all talking shit. I played some God of War Ragnarok,
Nice.
and I've been playing some Pokemon Scarlet because I can take my Switch to work and play it on lunch.
Now,
Nice.
I've seen a lot of footage of Scarlet and Violet looking very glitchy. How's your experience been with that game so far?
I actually haven't had any glitches yet. I've had frame drop, like some pretty bad frame drop.
That's to be expected. Like that makes sense.
But like, there's a cutscene in it where they introduce you to your class that you're in, and all the kids are like, and like doing their feats and stuff because they're
'Cause
like
their
supposed
heads
to
are
be
bobbing.
excited, and they're like shaking, like they're like moving their legs and stuff, and it was fucking so bad. The frame rate dropped so bad. It looked like fucking like a shitty like what's that ride at Disneyland?
It's a small world.
The Yeah, that's what it looked like. Like it looked like so mechanized. It was terrifying.
Yeah,
But besides that, I haven't had any problems. Do like with battles? Battles haven't seemed really that bad. I haven't had any crazy glitches yet.
that's good.
My girlfriend had one where her Pokemon just disappeared, and then she disappeared, and she didn't know what was going on, and then all of a sudden she popped back, and we're like, okay, that's whatever.
Where Pikachu looks up at her, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Fades away. But that's only 3 games I've been playing.
Hmm.
Nice. Well, we all know what everybody's been playing now in great detail. But has anyone beat a game?
Do you not have that drop before?
He doesn't have the drop.
After he told us he had drops.
I didn't have it last time. Hold on. Do I have a wait, there's a wild animals. Let's see. Lion. Close enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Did anyone beat a game this week?
I did not.
I can't remember if I reported Revengeance's beat last time.
I don't think you did.
Yeah. Okay, well now Revengeance was beat on, I think it was Sunday. So yeah.
You got your Revengeance.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance hath been defeated.
Yep.
And that's that, man. It was a game. It's funny, the game makes you think that each chapter is an hour long until the last 2 chapters that are 10 to 20 minutes each. And
well, it's an hour long
okay,
because you got a 40-minute cutscene in between everything. The greatest cutscene ever put to fucking video game film.
Video game film.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can really do
like
that.
I wish I would have had like a face cam of your reaction during that entire like last few cutscenes. Because there's a lot of stupid bullshit that happens. There's a lot of like laugh out loud moments or just like, what the hell did he just say or what did he just do?
The senator's like rant
yes.
at the end where he's talking about like all the problems with America and like what he's gonna do to solve them makes no sense. it was absolute garbage.
You say it makes no sense. I actually think he's making a lot of good points. I would vote for that guy. I'm not kidding when I say that. I would absolutely vote for that man.
And I love that he just like becomes like he's like a pro wrestler. It's hilarious.
He fucking like punches Ryan at some point and then there's like a crowd cheering from nowhere. Like,
oh my god.
That game's so good. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, what a game. Well, I can't wait to review it.
Yeah.
I in a way I'm really glad that won my poll. Like I really wanted like The World Ends With You to win because I fucking love that game and I feel like as Final Fantasy guys, you and Caleb might like it. But yeah,
is it 90 hours long?
No, that game's like 25, I want to say.
Oh, I'm still really glad the 5-hour game beat the 25-hour game.
Yeah, but it's also just the fact that you guys hadn't experienced Revengeance yet. I'm so stoked for that review. I beat God of War.
Oh.
And
the original God of War.
The original God of War, the original PS2 God of War.
Will you be reviewing that with Zach and I?
Yeah, I might as well. I beat it.
Yeah.
Maybe since we're close to the end of the year, I will hog that again next year to get the trophy for beating it under 5 hours. Because I just have that and the Challenge of the Gods, and then I get the platinum. I have every other trophy besides that. So that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, they're not super hard. There's like a few very specific ones that you just gotta like, if you know there's a trophy for it, you just keep your eye out. Like, oh, climb the spike pillar without getting hit. Oh, save this bitch with 10 seconds to spare. And like most of the other ones, you kind of just get through natural gameplay. Like even maxing out all of my weapons, like I just got naturally. Because like I thought I wasn't gonna make it, and then I got like a fucking million red orbs from the first fight against Ares. So I was like, all right.
Devil May Cry still better?
Yes.
Okay.
Like unbelievably so.
What? What?
The combat of God of War didn't click with me nearly as much as like DMC3's does. And granted, I haven't really played much of DMC4, and I haven't even touched 5. But like DMC3 came out, I think, the same year as God of War 1. I think they were both 2005. And it just kind of goes together a little bit better. had a lot of trouble figuring out what moves of Kratos is like linked into each other. And on top of that, like half the enemies just guard half your fucking shit anyway. So
Maybe you should be better.
you say that, but then it's like I got to take a minute and a half to fight one Minotaur because like most of the time it's just blocking and then like pushing me back. And it's just like, well, what do you want me to fucking do here?
If you were the true god of war, you would have been able to do it.
Well, I also might want to try go back and play it on God mode so I can get some of the extra unlocks. But I did do the secret at the end where you get to the throne room and if you hit those two statues on either side of his throne a billion fucking times each, they both break and then you get a phone number and you can call it. And then it's Kratos saying like, you've done it. And then David Jaffe, the game's director, is like, yo, Kratos, man, we did the game. He's like, who are you? And then he like kills him. I was surprised that phone number was, yeah. No,
okay.
it still works. Like I tried it last night. It's still up. So you can find it on like YouTube, but yeah, that was cool that number still exists apparently.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Cause I remember seeing that.
It.
I remember seeing that on G4 like eons ago when that game first came out on like Cheat or something. Yeah.
Nice. Anybody else beat a game? Zach?
No, I did not.
You know Bad Boys is only 2.5 hours long?
Did you know I don't have that yet?
I do, but you should tell Schweiss to come give it to you.
Yeah. Next month. Anyway, so
It's
we
perfect
are
thing
gonna
to play on
review
Christmas Day. Bad Boys.
I have a girlfriend. I don't need a game to play. With.
He just opens up all his presents under the tree and they're all copies of Bad Boys for PS2.
That would be the worst. That's
Stocking
like
stuffers.
There's like 9 copies of
fucking...
Bad Boys for PS2 and then 1 copy of the Sopranos game for PS2.
God, dude, that'd be like if I got like a Scrooge like ghost visiting me. Instead of being at like the funeral or like the graveyard at the end.
Yeah, instead of the grave filled with fire, it's just filled with copies of Bad Boys for PS2.
Oh, like, spare me this fate, Spectre.
The ghost of
and then you take the cloak off the Spectre and it's Will Smith.
And he fucking just slaps me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't even say your bitch wife had alopecia.
And then you open the windows and you're like, you there, boy, is there a Bad Boys game for PS2? And he's like, why no, sir, I don't think there is. And then you're like, here, take this 6 pence and go buy the biggest PS5, the one in the window. The one as big as my head, sir. Yes, that one. And bring it to Bob Cratchit's house.
Take it to Bob Cratchit's house.
And then you come and knock on my door and it's like, I got you a PS5. And I'm like, I don't want this. And I slam the door.
No, because you have to come to work the next day. He doesn't see him on Christmas Day. He sees him the next day.
No, he goes to his
work.
Okay, I'm going by Muppet Christmas Carol here because that's the definitive Christmas Carol.
Why read the fucking real one?
Read a book. What am I, gay? What do I like to suck dick?
Yeah, dude, you go to the fucking.
If you're sucking dick, you actually have to take the book away from your face.
And you're inverted.
No, the book is a way that you can hide the fact that you're sucking dick at the library. So, do I have a cat sound on here? Close enough. Stray.
Wow.
Go on.
Big cat. All right. Stray is a 2022 adventure game developed by Blue 12 Studios, published by Annapurna Interactive, directed by Koles Kula and Vivian Mermit Gayanet.
Nothing says racism like trying to pronounce someone's last name that you can't pronounce.
Apparently, they forgo putting their full names and generally avoid interviews because they go by directors Kula and Viv is what it's credited as. Very interesting. Developed on Unreal Engine 4, put out on the PS4, PS5, and Windows. Single player game in which you play a cat trying to.
You get to play a little kitty.
Basically solve a mystery or
well, no, there's no that. Yeah, your whole goal is the cat.
You're a cat in like a cyberpunk city. Did you guys?
Well, you don't know that at first. You're in a post-apocalyptic area that's all overgrown. But the main the story for this game at first is you want to get back to your kitty family. It's simple.
Yep. And then you are eventually accompanied by a drone named B12, who can translate, can somehow communicate with Cat, and can translate what the robots are saying to the cat, because this whole world is just like basically filled with robots, and then
they have their own language, they have their own art, they have a bunch of stuff,
and they're all like below the surface, like the sky is above and they're way below, right?
Living under a giant pizza.
and you don't actually see the sky because they're in a giant dome.
Yeah.
They're locked in to this place.
I just want to see what it's like up on the surface, Cat. Kate
The
Sith.
idea is that human beings died out a long time ago. There was some sort of plague. And now there are also these things called, what are they called? Zerks? Which are these like squishy worm hamster things. I don't know.
They're kind of like little puffballs.
Yeah.
And they will eat you.
They'll suck the life out right
They
out of
eat
you.
anything. Which is kind of interesting.
It's like the robots are trying to protect themselves from the Zerks and everything. But in order to get to the surface, they have to go through the danger of them.
What's kind of dope though is like if in the beginning, if you like, you kind of like you see ads for the thing that becomes the Zerks later, which is kind of cool because they have the thing. Because like basically what the Zerks are, you kind of find out, is they were a way for them to deal with the waste that humanity was making in this dome while they were trapped inside of it. And so this thing started out eating not inorganic material to keep it clean. And so when you're walking through some of the city, you can see like the old like human, because it's all human remnants and stuff. But you see their like signs and stuff, and some of the billboards are like talking about this product, and like when it was like new and stuff, which is kind of cool.
So you have to deal with that. You have to deal with like these sentinels, which is like this evil bureaucratic like nightmare in one of the like areas in the game.
Oh yeah, the fucking police, the robot police.
Yeah,
dude, that game, all police suck. It doesn't matter if you're a robot, if you're in Zootopia, if you're a human. The cops are mean, bro. They fucking
Spider-Man works with the cops, and they seem pretty nice.
No, they don't like him.
So the cat's
some of them do.
Basically,
sorry.
The cat's job about halfway through the game is basically they've got to stop the sentinels, and then they can open up the elevator that'll take them up to the surface, and then you're finally basically back to being a cat again.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal. The story is, I guess, it's pretty sparse and it's really simple, and it's mostly like you as a player like exploring and learning just a little bit more. Like the game just gives you little bits of information about the world.
Would you say it's more environmental than anything? As in like it's like the story is being told by your surroundings more or less, and you can just kind of glean what you can from that.
Well, so
it has a lot of that, but no.
Yeah, you get told things and you overhear things.
Robots,
But as well, I did a lot of the like collectible finding stuff while it was going, because I had COVID and I had nothing to do. So like I found all the music pieces in the first area, and I found all like the plants in the next area. And like as you do that, and you get more information from things as you find those as well. Okay. And it kind of paints a broader story of what's going on.
Yeah, you have your like main objective that you're trying to do, and everything that you're doing, by the way, is like it's a cat doing it. So they may be having a conversation, but your cat's not that interested in it really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can hear it, but then what you do is you press the square button and you meow. Or you walk up to something and press R3 and you knock a can off a ledge.
Right.
Yeah. Or you can press like back and forth and you can like scratch.
Oh yeah, you make biscuits.
Things.
You make biscuits, you scratch. Awesome. Honestly,
I don't think I've ever heard the term making biscuits before.
Neither.
Yeah, it's a cat term, man.
I had 2 cats as a
I'm the only person who apparently has females in their life, so we'll just.
Is that a female thing to make biscuits?
Yeah. No, they just all the women I know that talk about cats. They love it. They love them.
Where do you make biscuits? A4.
I had 2 cats.
Oh, wow.
And during the time that I had 2 cats, I only had my mom and my sisters in the house, and I've never heard that term in my entire life. So I don't know if it's a female thing.
Like troll A4.
What does it mean?
It's an internet thing. It's like when the cats like get like blankets and they go like this.
Oh,
And
okay.
they're like
Why do you
kneading.
just say
It's
so?
kneading.
Yeah.
It's
They're kneading
kneading,
dough.
but they
Kneading.
call it
Okay,
making biscuit.
Christ
Yeah.
almighty.
Anyway,
Making biscuit.
Um,
And you're like saying scratching and you're doing this motion. I'm like, what is it? Scratching its back? Making biscuits? What the fuck?
Oh,
Making
you
baking
can.
pancakes.
Making bacon pancakes, bacon pancakes. Anyway, so like with the story as well, you meet these like freedom fighter resistance people who their goal is to just get out because they're like, we shouldn't have to live here.
Then it
Locked
turns
up.
into Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, it kind of does. No, just kidding. Yeah, I mean it's simple, but it's told very well. And there's some parts that are like it's got some like I would say it's got some great storytelling. And some of the parts that happen in there are pretty fucking rad.
I think it's actually like pretty awesome. Yeah,
I enjoyed it a
sure.
lot.
We're saying it's simple. It's kind of like an Odyssey sort of thing, almost like
Mhm.
THX, where you obviously make it to the surface at the end, right?
Yeah.
And you're on the run from the evil police officers, like THX 1138. That's just like it's all in there.
I mean, like, because there are
But-
games that
but
have.
you're a goddamn cat, and you're dealing with like these like weird robot worlds. So suddenly,
Yeah.
like, the story's like pretty cool, but the world in which the story is inhabited in, you are like, and the kind of the way that the gameplay is weaved within it,
Mhm.
it's really rewarding to go through and like find the memories of B12, find out, you know, who they were in
Yeah.
the past and all that. It's really, really cool. So
I mean, like,
I'm
Cat.
I'm-
Cat. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say just Cat in like cyberpunk dystopia from the trailer was enough to like hook me. I haven't played it yet,
Right.
but like I've wanted to just because that
It's
idea seems
honestly-
cool.
It's rad.
Yeah.
My only complaint about the story is there's a part where there's a guy named Seamus, and his dad disappeared, and you have to go find him. And his dad came back, and I personally couldn't connect with that. So that's my only negative about the story. No, it's dope, dude. All the side characters, man. I liked every side character for the most
Yeah.
part. Like
So
they're
did
all very. I
everybody
like cool flesh.
super
They're
well
fleshed
drawn.
out for robots,
Yeah.
but they're fantastic, dude. And like even though you don't meet like the villains, the dudes that are like the police till the end, like they have an impact where you're like oh shit, like they are pretty bad. And there's like like there's some I think I was gonna talk about it'll be more like gameplay mechanics, so I'm not gonna talk about it now. But
straight up for like a
Enjoyed it.
little indie game that's like kind of like this mystery, very simple thing.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic little story, and the way that they told the story was really cool. Just from your perspective as a cat
Mhm.
in this world, it's really like I thought this was a joke game. Felicia Nomiko is the one who nominated this thing. I
Yeah.
hadn't heard anything about it. I just stay away from video game news completely.
Right.
So I didn't know that it was getting praised or whatever for anything. I never saw a trailer, and I started playing it, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty great, actually." Like,
No, if you want like a
it's fun.
joke,
Yeah,
if you want a
that's-
joke cat game, you got to play Cat Lateral Damage. That's just one where you go around as a
Yeah.
cat in first person and knock shit off tables.
that's kind of what I assumed that it would kind of be. It's
Yeah.
like this like jokey cat game from like the first level, but then it just like kept going. It kept getting like weirder and like funnier, and I don't know, like
You probably
endearing.
had the best possible experience going in like completely blind, right? Like with like
Yeah, I
no
was completely
expectations.
blind. Completely.
Yeah.
So,
I was just thinking about the story too, because like I'm trying to think of what I like my score, because I haven't really thought about it beforehand. But like with the storytelling, there's some like impactful parts. Like there's you meet one of the robots, and the story she kind of like at the end, you like get thrown into prison together, and you have to try to escape. And she just wants to like open like this thing so bad and get out. But like when you're getting chased by the bad guys at the end, she like stops and like takes you out, and she like goes, if you go this way, I can go this way, they'll come after me. And it's kind of heartbreaking a little bit because she was willing to like as a robot like put her life on the line for you, like this animal you just met. And like there's a lot of like few scenes there, the few of the robots where they kind of like pseudo like they don't really sacrifice this, but they kind of do, so you can get away. And you can continue trying to get to the surface because they recognize that like you're actually living, and I enjoyed it a lot.
You know, third
Like,
rule of
a lot.
robotics, they can't harm biological life forms. So they probably just did that so that you wouldn't get harmed. I mean,
You say that when the Terminators come back, like, you can't touch me. The third rule.
man, Does it deserve a 10?
I'm gonna give it a.
I don't
give it a
have
10.
any problems with it, you know?
I gave it a 10, 100%.
And I'm just thinking about, like, you brought up the characters. I'm thinking about, like, that kind of that. Yeah, I'm thinking about some of the characters and their mannerisms and all that stuff, and it's like really good detailed work. Now, this game is only 5 hours long, so
Yeah.
they didn't have to pull a thread that was like a 20-hour.
It's kind of why I didn't play it yet, because it's
and
like
make
I
it
want to
perfect.
play it, but I figured it'd be short, and it's like $30 at launch,
It-
and I'm just like, I can't.
It
really...
is, and honestly though, I think it's worth the $30 price point because honestly, bro, you're paying $70 now for a game that might be 10 hours, or a Call of Duty game, and like they have no substance or as much substance as I would say this game does, or replayability. I say that with Call of Duty having multiplayer, but like their story, like you're not gonna play more than once, and you're paying the $70 to play it. So it's a great price point, especially for an indie company. And all 100%, I'll give them money. I'll give them the $30.
It's just really, it was really.
If they make more games, absolutely.
I guess I
it
can't
was
really talk when
so well done.
I'm a Sonic fan, so I'll pay $6 for a game that's 5 hours long, but only because it makes the puzzle piece part of my brain go burr.
10.
Oh shit, we got 10s across the board for story.
Thought it was fantastic.
If we
Damn.
keep going, this could be God of War.
Well,
As I look at the gameplay section, I'm like, there's no fucking way, dude.
you don't think so?
I don't know. It's your
The
review.
game, dude,
The game.
the controls are simple, but they're fucking solid.
Hmm.
There's
solid.
nothing. There's nothing. I never had a problem with anything. Like no anything. If I died because I was a fucking idiot.
There's not a part of this game that isn't fun except for the one time I got lost in the town. And I was like running around a circle and I was like, where the fuck is that guy? I can't remember where he is.
Okay, so I didn't get lost, but I couldn't find some of the last music sheets, and I was like going fucking crazy. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, it was like
Sorry,
when I
Chief.
had to go back to a guy I'd seen before
Mhm.
and I couldn't remember what fucking building he was in.
Oh,
That
that's
would
the
drove
worst.
me absolutely fucking nuts. But yeah, you're basically, it's like interactive with the environment and everything is basically like 1 or 2 button kind of things. It's not a very complex control system. Zach said it pretty much right. It's just very simple. Like you're pressing square for almost everything and occasionally pressing triangle. Or like a directional thing.
Right.
There are like some puzzles where you like, you get like a piece of something and you have to give it to someone else, like
Mhm.
kind of fetch questy sort of stuff,
Yeah.
but not done in like a normal ass fetch questy sort of way.
Mhm.
There's no like little reticle that tells you exactly where to go, like a Fallout 3 or anything like
Right.
that. It's really is just like, okay, this is your little world. You've got to figure it out. You're a fucking cat.
The
So
robot's like,
go
And the
bring me
robot-
10 bear hides, and then I can
do
make
what
you a
you
cloak.
can. Yeah, do what you can as a cat to get this done. And so with that kind of like constraint in the way, where like, the cat can only do a few things, right? Your ability to like solve puzzles and stuff like that, very, very streamlined, well done puzzles, by the way, that aren't like super infuriating and aren't super gamey, but are like as realistic, I guess, quote unquote, as it could possibly be and still be a game,
Mhm.
Yeah.
That stuff's all pretty fun. I did have some issues with like, I guess my complaints about the gameplay, mostly like getting lost once, I think twice actually I got lost and it was annoying. And I hate getting lost in games. So there was like some like design things where like this area kind of looks the same as the other area and I forgot
The
where I was
city,
going.
the city definitely blends
Yeah.
into each other very, very like a lot. Or it's like,
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
kind of affects the gameplay, and then also there were some things with the buttons that got a little weird, like when 2 objects were like too close to each other or something like that, and I couldn't target
Right.
quite right. That did happen, I want to say once or twice, but it wasn't major. It was just like a couple seconds of frustration, but
Right.
A mild speed bump.
but otherwise, yeah, a super, it's even hard to talk about this game because it's like, yeah, it was a super simple game, but it was like really well done, really, really well designed. So, Zach, what do you think of the gameplay?
I enjoyed it. Just fun. In my notes, I have you can knock things off ledges? Question mark. 10 out of 10.
In my notes, I have
Uh,
the word meow a bunch of times.
I put button to meow. 10 out of 10 game. Gameplay wise, and I guess it's kind of a gameplay feature. The save points were kind of weird. That was something that's kind of lacking for me. I would have liked an autosave. Especially if I wanted to put it down, and you can't really do that because it saves in a weird spot.
It doesn't seem like the kind of game that would have
Um,
save points.
It does have save points in certain areas. Things will like save for you.
Hmm.
So like there's times
It's
when I was
a
collecting
checkpoint
things.
Save. It's
Yeah, I was
yeah.
collecting things and I wanted to put it down, but I couldn't. I know why I put that. When we were in the robot bar before that, when you're meeting up with the dude, like you're gonna meet up with like your friends or whatever. I had to redo that 4 times because I turned it off and then came back and had to go back to that. So I had to redo everything where I thought it, and I'm like, okay, well if I do this, like it'll save, and then I had to go somewhere. So I was like, fuck. So I went back to resave it, and I was like, hey, I did this thing. I entered this room, so it should have like checkpoint saved. Didn't. Had to go back.
Ooh.
So I ended up doing like 5 times, and it was just pissing me off every time.
Okay.
So I'm like, I've
that
already
never
done
happened
this.
to me, but that
Yeah.
could be frustrating.
So that kind of lacks. I would still probably give 9 out of 10 gameplay.
I'm
The
giving
save
it
points,
a 9 as well.
the save points are kind of lame, but
9 out of 10.
I didn't get
battling
lost,
with the
you know?
light on the enemies is pretty fun, and like the running
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, it's
That's
great.
a lot of fun, and like kind of like the way that the cat kind of jumps from thing to thing is like
Mhm.
kind of a blast. Like it's you
Yeah.
just kind of pointing in the direction that it goes, and you're pressing square, but like
It's so
there's something
fun, man.
about it's just it really is like a well thought out, well designed gameplay. With like a couple little detractors, but nothing major.
Yeah,
9
that's
out of
great.
10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Art,
Yeah, graphics.
art and graphics.
Fucking fantastic, dude. The game. I played it on PS4, so I got like is a push to my PlayStation as far as it could go. And it looks great. Like it's still. I mean, I'm sure PS5 was gorgeous, but PS4 looked fantastic, and I don't have any complaints about it. I like the robot designs. I like the area designs. Every area is just different enough, yet the same thing. Because you're in the same world.
Yeah.
But it's different enough that it's fantastic. And even the robots get personalities, and you can tell that by the way they dress, or what they have with them. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, did you
the-
really play
the
the cat
aesthetic
game
is
if
like-
if you didn't have ray tracing turned on? Dumb joke.
Wow.
Whatever.
Okay. The aesthetic is kind of like what this game is. And it's tells its story like and its world almost through the aesthetics of it. It's definitely like a cat cyberpunk thing. Very
Cybercat 2077.
Yeah.
very like it's got a lot of like neon and it's got a lot of like dinginess
Well,
to it. Like
yeah,
a lot of
the
metal
the
and stuff like
neon's
that.
definitely later, because there's some like a little bit of neon in like the beginning area, but the
I'm
end
talking
area.
about the cities, like
Yeah, okay. So I'm
or
saying the first city's,
town
like,
and
super
then
dingy.
Then the city, yeah, it's dingy, but it has like some lights in there, neonish.
Yeah.
And it's what are you laughing at?
Just the fact that you're like, well, they did have some neon at the beginning, so I was so right.
Yeah, it's like your room, it's like all like shiny lights and LED shit. Like, I'll just say that's neon, even though it's not.
This
all
room is
technically
dingy as
neon.
fuck. This is all Adobe After Effects going on back here.
It's
Yeah.
all cyberpunk is what his room is.
So no, I think it looks fantastic. I think it's like a huge part of it. Like when I'm thinking about the aesthetic of the game, it's crazy. I do think that they picked a shit logo for the game because that was another thing that like kind of surprised me that the game looked the way it did, considering it just had like a black and white cat logo face thing for the PS5 menu. I don't know why. It just looked. I was like, what the
The
fuck?
logo looked
And
okay.
then I started going. Then I went into the game and it was like, oh, now this is a different thing. So it doesn't have the picture of the cat I'm seeing on Wikipedia. It was
No,
just
I'm
black.
seeing the one with the picture of the cat. It's kind of got like an angular text kind of look, like almost like what like dubstep people were doing for their logos, like Skrillex. But that kind of fits like the futuristic theme. Like it looks like a face
you're
of a
right. It
cat
looks
drawn
like
by a
dead-
robot.
It looks like the Dead Mouse logo.
Yeah, but
It's just
the
black and white.
cat face looks like what a robot would perceive a cat face to look like, or how they
Now
would
look,
draw it.
I'm just saying that logo did not sell me on what the game would be when I actually hopped into it.
Right.
Well, you don't
So,
judge a book by its cover.
Knowing nothing, I didn't watch a trailer, nothing. So like just going into this thing blind, I thought the logo was just like definitely like every time it was in my PS5, I kind of rolled my eyes at it. I don't know. But that's like a little nitpick and it has nothing to do with the actual game itself.
Yeah.
No, the game it looks really great. The cats look pretty good. I will not say they are perfect cats. I don't know if you can make a perfect cat in a
Are
video
they
game.
jellicle cats?
They look way better than well, they look about as good as the cats in that Tom Hooper cat movie.
That's not a compliment. What you just said. That is a damnation.
Just the CGI quality, movement, and all that stuff. I it's back
Quality with
comparable.
finger breaking air quotes.
No, they didn't have human hands coming out of the cats, so I'm not. You're
So the game's not real nightmare.
Before you're looking at things all encompassing, I'm talking about details here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
When are they
I'm
going
not
to release the
talking about,
butthole
like-
cut of that movie? By the way.
Now, here's the deal. I have no problem with it. So I'm going to give art and graphics a 10.
I am too.
It
Oh my
really
God.
does look quite good.
Stray sweet.
And
Yeah, it's
it's a
fantastic.
huge part of it.
Oh yeah, it has to be. I mean, like the story couldn't stand without the graphics of the area, and like they're both very intertwined with each other to tell you this beautiful story.
Music
Sound and music.
Cats can meow. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, how was the voice
Um,
acting?
The music was great. Yeah.
Oh, what? Did the robots like talk in like a fucking like Simlish kind of thing or whatever?
The robots have their own like weird
Language.
electronic language that you can't understand.
Yeah, but the robot, your drone translates it for you.
Yeah, everything's translated
Into kitty.
very wonderful dialogue and text.
Mhm.
The cat does meow, in fact. The cat does meow. Now, here's what we could talk about is the soundtrack for this game, which is super cool, atmospheric,
Mhm.
kind of electronic music. I re-listened to it just a little bit before we started, and I remembered it. And it really does. It adds to the whole adds to the whole atmosphere of the game. Kind of and having nothing with like English voice acting in it also adds to that kind of like mysterious other quality that the whole game has as well. I have played this game with headphones because I was streaming it. And it sounds absolutely beautiful in the headphones. I'm giving sound and music a 10 out of 10.
I am too.
Yeah.
I think
God.
it's fantastic. Dude, it's fantastic, bro. Honestly.
Damn. Wow.
This game is nothing but atmosphere, bro. Like it's atmosphere.
yeah, I
and
kinda
a simple
figured.
story.
I kind of figured.
And they fucking excelled, bro.
I guess the last one, the last category we have, replayability. Do you guys see yourselves replaying this game? And here's where
Zach, I've been talking way too much. It's your turn.
This is where it's gonna fall off. For me.
I had a feeling.
I did a lot, if not everything you can do while I was playing it. I found everything. I would like to go back to it on PlayStation 5. I would like to see what the graphics look like on there because I'm interested. It is only a 5-hour game, and I don't feel the need to find everything a second time. That being said, I don't know when that would be, or if it would even be next year. So replayability is where it drops off for me to a 5.
Oh man.
Because I don't know if I'll go back to it. But also saying that, if this team made another game, and even a full priced game, I would 100% buy it and try it out, because they've showed me with this game how good they can be on this indie budget and what they can do with an indie studio. So I would 100% play something else that these guys make. And my only complaint about the game again is I wish it was longer. I wouldn't have minded an extra couple hours or even 5 more hours to explore this world and to get to see more of like what's going on. But the 5 hours is concise, it's short, it's sweet. It doesn't overstay its welcome. In fact, you want it to come back. But they get everything out they want to say in this 5 hours of gameplay, and it's fantastic. Kind of sad that I really didn't want to go back to it as much as I would another game, but everything else is beautiful in this game. So I'll give it a 5.
I don't know if I would replay it immediately, but like 10 years from now, I'll think about that one cat game I played and how it's only 5
I gotta
hours
play the
long,
cat
and then
game.
I would totally get like back into it again, you know?
Gonna talk to your
there
robot
were-
wife and be like, "Oh, you got to see this cat game I played 10 years ago."
There were
He's like, "Blah, blah, 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 blah."
trophies. There are lots of things to explore. Zach said he went around and got everything. I didn't. I was just trying to beat the game. I recognized as I was going through that there were like little there's tons of these like little side characters, and then there's all these memories of B12. You can go around and collect these things. So there are a lot of things to do that can help, I think, expand the world even more for the player. And then the game is also really short. So although I probably won't replay it anytime soon, not that I would replay any game anytime soon, as long as I'm doing a bunch of video game podcasts and have a bunch of games I have to play. And
Yeah.
I do think that there is reward out there for the player that wants to replay it. So I will give it a higher score than Zach. And it's also a really damn good game. And that's
It
another
is.
thing. It's like, yeah, I'll just replay it because it's fucking great. And in that case, I will give it, it's not endless, and I probably won't play it again for another 10 years if I replay it, but I'd give it a 7 out of 10 for replayability.
It's solid.
It's solid, yeah.
And again, yeah, man, like it is a fantastic game, and if you've been thinking about it, I'm sure there's sales coming up. But even though I would say it's worth $30, it's awesome, dude. I couldn't recommend it more. It's just fun.
You can get it for free if you get that highest PlayStation Plus tier.
Oh yeah, get that and then cancel it straight up.
I got it because it was the cheapest way to get both God of War and Stray. It's like, well, if I bought them, then that would be pretty much the same price. So I got the highest tier for the next year.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Just for the difference in cost.
No,
Yeah, of
honestly,
course.
dude, it pays for itself, dude. Honestly, like.
Yeah. So what are our scores there, A4?
So for story, we got 10s across the board. For gameplay, we got 9s across the board. For graphics, 10s across the board. Sound and music, 10s across the board. Replayability, Joe gave it a 7, Zach gave it a 5, for a total of 46 out of 50 from Joe, 44 out of 50 from Zach, leading to a grand total of 90 out of 100.
90 out of 100.
Metascore for
Deserves
the
it.
Metascore for the PlayStation 5 version is 83, 82 for PC, and I don't even see a fucking score for PS4. So
I didn't like it as much as we did.
pretty high compared to the
Fuck 'em.
Metacritic. I don't know where it compares. I don't have the grand master list of Nude Clan games, so I don't know where this ranks, but a 90 out of 100 is pretty high.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be up there. Probably top 50
Yeah,
at the
it's-
very least.
Well, yeah, it will be. I think it'll be like top 20.
I should have
in
said,
that
yeah,
case.
top 20.
This was a really good game. Really solid game. I definitely recommend it. It is a cheap game, and I think it's also worth even the full price.
I agree.
Just for the experience of it. I don't think you guys will regret it. I just thought it was going to be a stupid little cat game. Thank you, Felicia Nomiko, for nominating this thing.
I wanted to play it
little
for-
gem of a game.
I wanted to play it for a
cool.
while, and I just didn't because other things got in the way. So I'm glad that Felicia had the vote for it.
I've still kind of been waiting for it to go
So-
on sale personally, but like you guys have kind of talked me into wanting to get it. Like I was kind of like,
It's great.
I'll get that eventually. To like, I should probably prioritize this sooner than later when a big sale comes up.
It
It's
was
great.
funny. I think it was last week when I looked up the games nominated. We talked about it on the show, and I pulled it up, and I was like, "Oh, Stray was first." I was surprised Stray was this year,
Mhm.
but also I was like, "Oh no, yeah, that makes sense for a nomination for Game of the Year. That makes total sense for me because I have played Stray, and it was like a super unique, cool little experience that."
I
Yeah.
voted for it on something on there on the game awards. I can't
Yeah.
remember which one it was.
Those are tomorrow, so we can. Me and Zach will probably watch those after.
No,
like-
I'm not gonna be down here. Fuck.
what are you doing tomorrow?
I'm going up to my girlfriend's.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys can like spoon and watch the Game Awards, and then when God of War wins Game of the Year, you guys can fuck.
I promised her street tacos and Pokemon, so that's what we're doing tomorrow.
Are there
I mean-
street tacos up there?
Bro, there's a when you come back up to Utah, go to Salt Lake.
I
There's
am in
a-
Utah.
I'm sorry, when you come back up to Salt Lake, I'm thinking of A4. There's a place in Salt Lake. It's by the old Sears they just demolished, called Tacos Don Rafa, and it's not a brick and mortar. It's a cart. It's a cart with a giant fucking grill.
Nice.
Bro, their El Pastor is fucking amazing.
Do they got the thing where they have like the layers of pork that they cut off through the day? And it's
No,
all made of stuff?
they have it like in a cooler. They take it out and just like it's all
Oh.
fresh. Like they come throughout the day, like the owners, and they bring like new like meat. They bring like new shit. Like,
Interesting.
dude, it's fucking awesome.
Dude, that
I
was
get like
the best
5.
part about living in LA was
Yeah, dude, I bet.
all
Dude, their
those taco
tacos,
stands.
it's like $2, $2.50 a taco, or $1.50. $1.50 a taco. I think it's like $1.50 a taco. So I got 5 tacos and 1 quesadilla. Quesadilla is like $5. And fuck, dude, their Al Pastor is amazing. Oh, it's so good, dude. I couldn't recommend it enough. Like, go to Europe, Salt Lake. Seriously, go. Tacos Don Rafa is like a hidden gem. Don't go to the taco cart next to them because those taco cart fuckers suck. It's
Yeah,
not
everybody. Oh my god, that's so funny. Everybody. up there
Tacos-
like,
Tacos
no,
Don
that one
Rafa.
sucks. This one's good on that corner. That one.
Is
that
this
one
the
blows ass.
is this the
Yeah.
Genos and Pats of street tacos?
No, dude, Don Rafa's. I don't understand. It shouldn't be as good as it is, but it is. It's just great. Like, so good.
Oh, you heard it here first. That's our review
Yeah.
of Stray.
Can't.
Best street tacos ever. Go to Tacos El Jefe in Salt Lake near the old Sears,
Bro, it's good. Shut up. A4,
right off
when you fly out-
I-83.
Here, the thing we're gonna do. I already talked to my girlfriend about this. A4, when you fly out here
Yeah.
for the show, before we go down to do what we planned on, I'm gonna take you to Tacos
What,
Don Rafa.
you're talking like we're gonna commit a group suicide. Like,
We are. We're ending the show.
What we
So we're
planned
dying.
on?
You know
Wink,
when the show ends, we die.
murder suicide
Anyway.
orgy. Wink, wink.
Anyway, so I'm gonna take you A4 to Tacos Don Rafa in Salt Lake,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna take you to Ombu Grill down here by me, because Ombu is like a Korean barbecue place where you cook your own food, and
Ah,
their
that sounds
pork bellies
Banging. That
fucking
sounds
amazing.
awesome.
So Rachel's like, "Why? He has Korean barbecue in Pennsylvania," and I was like,
No, I
Shut up.
don't.
"I'm taking A4 to a Korean barbecue place."
I ain't never
Like,
seen a
100%.
Korean barbecue place. We got butter churning up here. All right, we're an ancient people up here in
You gotta
old
take 'em
Pennsylvania.
to Temple Square and
Yeah.
Beto's.
I can't go to Temple Square. They'll arrest me.
Temple Square and Beto's.
Yeah,
I'm a
take me to
fugitive.
the
I'm a fugitive.
take me to the
an
Mormon
ex-LDS
Mecca so I
person.
can laugh at everything.
No, bro, no. So I gotta. So sometimes A4, if your records are still in the church, the single adult ward, now that I'm over 30, will text me and ask me if I'm coming to church. What they did done the last 3 weeks is message me and ask me about my tithing settlement, about why I haven't been paying money to the church.
Yeah.
So that's a fun thing that happens to you.
So
when you're
I
an
here's-
like
adult.
get our
here's-
little announcements.
Here's our updated itinerary for when I fly out there. We're going to Mission Impossible style steal your records from the church, burn them, and then go to Tacos del Fuerte to celebrate.
Yeah. It's like the knock list in Mission Impossible. It's the mailing list. It's the church mailing
Yeah,
list.
dude. So my last
Under
my last
Z.
my last
Sad.
my last 3 messages have been about tithing declaration, and I almost messaged back this last one and was like, "Bro, I don't. If you knew me, you knew I haven't been going. Like you've
I ha-
never met me.
I
I'm
got
not
a
on
few
any
texts
rolls.
from them. I got a few texts from them in California, and all I did was go stop texting me, and they did.
Now,
You know,
okay,
my girlfriend will write unsubscribe.
okay. Now,
She just texts unsubscribe, and they get so pissed.
the Mormon Mafia is a world away from where I am, basically. But what is the So I might not have the perspective here, but what is to stop you from just saying, "Here's your tithe," and then sending them a picture of your scrotum?
Sexual harassment.
It's not
Yeah.
sexual. Well, if you take a close enough picture, they're not going to be able to tell.
They have my fucking number. Basically, what you do when you're part of the church, they get your number, your email address, your address. They know where I live. They know my number, so they will harass me.
There's these great things called Verizon stores where you can get a new phone number.
I did get a new number and I haven't gotten their texts.
I should, but I don't want to
I
have to
rarely
memorize
got their
number.
texts before after I said, please stop contacting me.
Yeah, I need to just say that.
Just
I
be
feel bad. I don't
polite
want to be mean.
or send them
I
a
don't wanna be
picture of
mean.
your ball sack. I'm just saying.
I say, please don't contact me, and they didn't.
You
My
have
girlfriend also.
you
told
have
me to tell
two
her to fuck
options,
off.
Zach. You have the Paragon route where you say, please stop texting me. You have the Renegade route where you send them a picture of your genitals.
Is that
You don't even have to say fuck off. They will they might go like, are you sure? And then you go, yes. Please stop
honestly though,
texting
I was tempted to go back to the church because I drove past Temple Square and I saw this a Latina sister with the fattest ass. And I was
just
like,
for her.
I was like,
Because you can't find Latinas with fat asses anywhere else.
but she's innocent.
Just the one on
But she's innocent.
Now, to be fair, Joe,
Find some
to
little
be
tiny
fair,
village in Mexico.
No,
Joe,
It's the
to
Catholic girls.
Joe, to be
You're
fair,
like
there's-
one step away from Mormon.
Joe, there's a game on my phone that I play, and one of the characters is like a sexy nun, and I get that character, and I'm like, I might have to go back to church. I don't know, man. God seems pretty.
Yeah, dude, I don't know
Yeah.
what it is about like
Dude.
leather-clad nuns, but it does something for me,
Whoa.
and I don't know
Uh-huh.
why,
Oh yeah,
but it does.
I went to church 2 weeks ago. I went to Catholic mass.
And you were like, "Where's the
Nice.
leather? Where's the whips?
Yeah,
What's going on?"
Where's the cream filling?
No, I went because I thought about this months ago and then I didn't go through with it. Because I'd been to Catholic mass once and I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I've been to all these like beautiful like Catholic churches and cathedrals and stuff in South America. And I was like, I just want to go check it out. I'm just curious. And because what I like about, I think, the Catholic Church over the Mormon Church, which I realize a lot of people have huge hangups with the Catholic Church as well. But the thing that I take above it is that in the Mormon Church, they make you go, do you believe? Do you believe? And then you have to go yes or no. And it really matters. And then
They check it off on a paper to know whether you have to go to the
oh my
temple or not.
God. And they have all these like silly steps involved.
It's like if
crazy
it's like if the
bureaucracy.
Catholic, yeah, I was gonna say it's like if the Catholic Church was run by bureaucrats.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And so I like, well, I'm thinking about it because I'm like, well, I kind of miss the community of, people that you just see all the time.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'll just give it a go. And I thought about this months ago, right? And I thought about like, okay, I should go to a Spanish one and just like test my Spanish over there. And I did, by the way, go there, but I was too much of a pansy to stick around and talk to other people. So I was at the mass thing. There was an awkward moment where they're like, peace be to you or whatever. And they like, I don't know what they said in Spanish. I don't know what that equivalent was, but that's what was happening. And like some guy just like waved at me and then shook my hand. And I'm like, I guess I'm shaking your hand. And my hands were sweaty because I was like nervous about what was going on. It didn't. So I unfortunately, some guy got my sweaty, nasty hand. Poor guy.
You also had spaghetti all over your hand because you kept spaghetti in your pockets the whole
It's
time.
like mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
And I
on
didn't
a
take the
sweater
sacrament.
already.
And I just kind of like just stood with everyone when everybody stood and just sat down when everybody sat. There's a lot of
That's
getting up
all
and-
it is.
Hold on.
bro.
Grumblish in the Twitch chat says the white guy that didn't speak to anyone. Ah, shit, are we being audited?
There was a Catholic couple that was white that came in as well, but they were doing everything in English. And why did they sit right behind me? They had to sit right behind me because I was the only other white person in the room. I just realized that.
They were like,
Right
there's
now.
strength in numbers. We can take them all out
like-
now.
So
Colonizer.
I heard her singing all the hymns and stuff and she had a horrible voice, by the way. In
Wow,
English.
she listens to this podcast, you cunt.
Yeah, he told her. By the way, I host a video game
was just-
podcast. What's it called? Nude Clan. Oh, okay. Well.
She was just they think they were just a Catholic couple who had missed like their normal mass time and decided to go to the Spanish one despite not knowing Spanish. So
shit,
that was
Dolores, we
interesting.
missed the 10 o'clock mass. Well,
Yeah.
we can hit the 3 p.m. one because those lazy Spaniards never get up on time. Always
Santa
sleeping next to
Dolores, grab
adobe
your
houses
maracas.
with their maracas and their sombreros tipped over their fucking faces.
He's like, peace be unto you, and to you.
So anyway, it was just a really interesting experience. I definitely felt some eyes on me. They're like, what the fuck is that white guy doing? And why isn't he doing all the hand gestures? That's what it felt like. I'm sure, like, everything where
I
like
thought you were gonna shoot him up with the climate.
people
They're
are
just like, oh
shut
god,
up.
a white
People-
person.
Well, he came
People
there in a
are
trench
paying
coat. So, I
attention to
mean,
you.
and he was
People are
muttering to
paying
himself the
atten-
whole time. Sorry,
They're like,
sorry.
God damn. Fuck.
I'm sorry. I keep thinking of fucking tags. Tags for the same stupid joke.
Anyway. Now that you've derailed me completely, A4. I thought it was interesting. It was an interesting. I don't know if I'll go back again without someone else there with me.
Probably safe bet.
If I go again, it'll be like, well, are you looking to be a Catholic? And I'm like, I don't really think so.
Bro, you can get the same sense of community from joining a swingers club, and you get your rocks off. Like,
You gotta ask him for the free trial package.
dude, so I went to Catholic
Bro.
Mass on my mission, and I felt really bad because the guy was like, yeah, will you come? I'm like, yeah, like, we're teaching you, like, whatever. So we're doing all the Catholic shit, up and down, all the stuff. He's showing us the things. And he's like, hey, go, they're doing their sacrament kind of thing. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, there's no wine, right? Because I can't drink wine. And he's like, no, it's just like the wafer thing. So I go up and I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, well, you can either have it in your hand or they can put it on your tongue. Like, there's different things you can do. And I was like, okay. And so I get up there and I see people doing it. And I just like don't know what to do. And I'm like, got my hand like, and I just go, yeah.
Yeah.
And stick my tongue out. And he just looks at me and just goes, and just places it on my tongue with so much contempt in his eyes.
Yeah, they do
And I
that.
was like, I panicked. I don't know what to do.
Now, Joe, 2 questions.
Yeah.
Was the body of Christ a tortilla and was the wine tequila?
It wasn't a tortilla. It was the little crisps from Taco Bell.
I did not have the sacrament. I could not tell you.
Okay, well.
I did remember that they go around asking for like things, so I grabbed spare change in my car.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know we were supposed to be giving money.
To put in the little basket.
It was.
So I forgot about that part.
I'm
But
so
it
used to
seems like-
giving money to this other church that I forgot that the Catholic Church might want something in the collection
Yeah.
plate.
So it seemed like a nice little dude. They had donuts afterward. I should have stuck around. There were some cute little Latina chicks over there, but
Bro, I bet like they do a thing where like at least once a month they do a thing where they like do a cookout like the Mormons do, and they bring food. And I bet it's
they had
fucking-
donuts. They had donuts.
No, but I mean
and
like an
coffee.
actual like dinner thing. Like I bet they like once a month they do a thing where they bring like do like a potluck like the Mormons do. And could you imagine all that good Mexican food, bro?
Joe, you gotta watch
Like-
out. You gotta watch out dating those Catholic Latina chicks though, because they are not gonna want abortions at all. And you're gonna come in them once and you're gonna get like 7 kids somehow.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. You want the abortion.
You are gonna have your own little Brady Bunch.
Listen, God he died for something. And that something was because I'm getting abortions. So, there you go.
Okay.
At least you didn't
All
go to one
right.
of those rock and roll mega churches.
Oh well, no. Actually, this is actually what sparked it. I was like, I was on a. You're right, Zach.
Sorry. Grumblish from the chat says nothing says belief like paying the church like the squeegee guy in a red light.
Fine, take
I
fucking
don't-
50 cents, just go
I
away.
don't believe it. I don't believe it. I want to make that very clear. I don't believe it. I don't believe in the Catholic Church, but I went.
I mean, it
was
exists. The
curious.
Catholic Church exists.
Yeah, that's true. I do believe it's in its existence. Yes. I don't know if I believe in its divine.
Just standing out in front of the church, just going, "I don't believe in you."
But I went and I had like the guy spoke very clear Spanish, so I actually got pretty much everything he said, and I felt really good about myself because like I've been watching all these TV shows.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a person in real life speak Spanish in like a while, since Peru basically, and so like and there are no Spanish speakers out here. They all like gather around from the hills to come to this one church on Sunday because that was the most Mexicans I've ever seen in a room in this part of Utah.
I just
ever.
imagine Joe seeing the priest talking in Spanish and then just like elbowing the guy next to him, being like, "Holy shit! It's just like on TV. They actually do speak Spanish."
He's waiting for the end. He's like, "When's the next time on Dragon Ball Z?" When he finishes the sermon.
This is the weirdest episode of Narcos I've ever seen.
It's just like in Narcos, dude. Catholic Church is just like in Narcos when they say that language. You know?
You're like, this is nothing like Elite.
It was an interesting time. The thing that sparked it, I'm sorry, this is what I was saying before you burst out laughing. The thing that sparked it, I went to like a little there's like a Mexican store. It's just like a Mexican shop. It just says it has Mexican stuff in it. I've never been inside of it. I know it has like food.
It's called
I
a
don't know what else
Chi-Chi's.
it has. It says Mexican Market. It literally says that above the name, and I've never gone. And
you
then
get some good meat, bro.
Now here's the deal. I went and they were fucking closed on Saturday. But on their sign they had like a church advertisement, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything tomorrow.
Maybe if I go there, I'll get meat."
And then, that kind of meat. It's a meat market. I saw the advertisement there and I looked up that church, and that church it was very Protestant and so very not interesting. It was like a lot of like hip music and like just like a blank ass room for the church, and with like a gaudy, horrible art and poster. This is why the Catholic Church, as a non either of those, is way more interesting to me, because it has beautiful art and beautiful architecture and like really like kind of like solid foundational stuff. But then these like random Protestant like groups are just like shitty buildings, crappy music, like, and not that
it's like the McDonald's of churches.
Yeah,
bro, you're gonna say this, and we're gonna have the Engage community, and now the Protestants are gonna be after us.
The Engage community and the Protestants are gonna combine like Voltron.
And I
come
can't
and
remember.
destroy us.
There was a word for whatever type of Protestant church it was. It wasn't, I don't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't like Lutheran. It wasn't Baptist. It was like it was a different one. So I was just like a little bit like hesitant, because I was like, "Okay, is this one of those weird, gross ones where like, I don't know. I didn't know what I was getting into." So I was like, "Oh, I remember I was going to go to mass one day," and I decided to actually do it. So that was the story about how Joe went to mass in Spanish and then ran away as fast
and
as
his
he
life
could
got
as soon as
flipped,
it was
turned
over.
upside down.
There were donuts and coffee, and I could have stuck around and I could have practiced my
There
Spanish.
were donuts and coffee, and I was like, "Holy shit, I'm scared for my life."
I was a little bit scared to be like, "Oh, I'm just here to practice my Spanish." I'm just like,
What?
I'm not
Okay.
I'm not here
okay.
to be with God. I'm here to practice my Spanish right now.
Robert would have loved that shit. They'd have been like, "But you've been like."
Here's
God
your
bless you,
perfect
God.
excuse the next time you go and do this. If someone asks, if you're eating
español.
if you're eating coffee and donuts at the end, and and someone comes up and asks like, "What are you doing here, white boy?" You just go, "I have amnesia."
I don't remember. No recuerdo.
No, yeah, go. Who's white? I am Hispanic.
No sé por qué.
Just be like, "I'm lost." You guys seem like a cool bunch. I decided to see what this whole thing was about.
I just start crying like, "My mom left me in the grocery store."
Also, like the people serving it was interesting because like the community was all there. They were all Hispanic and they were all speaking Spanish. The people passing out the coffee were these white like ladies that were speaking English, and I was like, "Do they not have any volunteers that are
Are they nuns?
No,
they're caterers from Dunkin' Donuts.
They were just like people volunteering as parts of the church, I guess. I don't.
Yeah, they
don't know.
probably go to
Dude,
go to the same building, so it's like helping each other out. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I have no idea how Catholic Church works, and it's obviously another level when it's in Spanish.
Yeah, I think you might have bit off a little more you could chew there. You might want to start with like white English church first, then move up to fucking
you're like,
church en español.
The church, the mass in LA that I went to, it was in English, but the people I went with were Spanish speakers. And so when they pulled out the hymn books, they knew where to find the Spanish words for the hymns. There were none of those. So as far as I could tell, the people around me just knew the words to the songs that they were saying in Spanish, and they didn't have the hymn books.
Yeah.
That could have told them the words for the hymns. I could have just like mouthed along the words, not knowing anything. But yeah, interesting experience.
Did the LA church have coffee and donuts at the end, or is it just drugs?
No, the LA church. No, this is like
drugs.
We went and dude, they had like full on meals. It was like basically like the equivalent of a singles ward, Zach, where it was like people under 30.
Yeah,
that's what the mass was in LA, and they just like everybody was a college student there because it's right next to you. It's literally across the street from USC, the big church there.
Yeah,
and there was just a bunch of really hot college Catholic girls. By the way, my God, there was like this one blonde chick there. I was like, I think I might become a Catholic just to try to get with that blonde girl over there.
This all just reeks of the Sunny episode where they go to the abortion rally to pick up chicks.
There were no chick pickups, but they did feed us really well there, and that they had donuts at this one. It's like I might just go to Catholic mass. I realized when we're all putting money in the jar that we're just paying for donuts at the end. But I might just go get some free food at Catholic mass.
I cannot wait.
It's pretty awesome.
I cannot wait for the last episode of Nude.
They don't give you free food they don't give you free food in Mormon church.
I don't remember getting free food in Catholic church, and I went.
A broken piece of bread by a 15-year-old kid.
Once a month.
Once a month. 16. Sorry.
Once a month, in the singles ward, we had like a food thing. That was kind of cool. Yeah,
but it wasn't every time. Now I've gone to mass twice, and both times they had free food at the end.
So I don't remember any free food at any masses I've been to. But
were you Catholic?
Yeah, like Roman Catholic or whatever fucking version of that.
You sound unsure.
I mean, I was Catholic. Yeah, it's just like
okay.
I think the church specifically was Roman Catholic, but I'm not like super fucking like sure of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
and not Eastern Orthodox. That's the other one.
I don't know. I mean, at my grandparents, we would always go to like a Byzantine Catholic church where they sing every single fucking word they say. They go, in the name of the Father and the Holy Spirit. Now turn to John book 2:7:5.
That was not the case at this one.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah. Anyway.
I cannot wait until the last episode of Nude Clan where Joe is excited to go to vacation Bible school.
Yeah, this is your Christian arc right now.
Yeah. He's like, guys, this year vacation Bible school is underwater themed.
I'll find Jesus at the end of this whole thing.
That was the long con of Nude Clan, was to turn Joe Catholic overall.
Yeah, it was definitely the show that did it.
And yeah, well, all it took was you playing Revengeance, and you were like, I should go to mass.
Well, it was just weird that I had that thought too. I was like, I should go to mass. I should go to that because I'm so fucking bored and lonely down here on the weekends.
It's something to try. I mean, it's free.
Yeah, there's nothing to do except for go to church. The movie theater sucks. I'm gonna see someone.
The roller rink sucks. Don't even get me started on the Chuck E. Cheese.
There's none of those.
Sorry, Major Magics.
Dude. No, dude, he's in like the worst part of.
I thought Cedar City was a better town than it actually was, but I realized I had never actually stopped in Cedar City except for once to get gas.
To get gas, like.
I heard the gas station's pretty bumping on a Saturday night.
It's more bumping than anywhere else.
You get a fucking, you go in there, you walk around with a salad for 45 fucking minutes, piss Joe off.
I can't tell you the strange dichotomy or like the opposition, it's so weird that like how much I love my job versus how much I hate where I live. Not my apartment or anything like that. My town, not great. It's not a great town, dude. It's like, I don't know, 1/4 college students, 1/4 rednecks, 1/4 Mormons, 1/4 the other Mormons. And it is
You make it sound like the other Mormons are like the fucking
no,
dudes
no,
from Resident Evil 4. If you shoot them in the head, like a worm comes out of their
no,
fucking
that's
neck.
the Warren Jeffs crowd. It's the other Mormons.
A worm does come out of their necks in
The
the Warren
s-
Jeffs. The
the s-
polygamists, 100%.
It's the scary Mormons.
Yeah.
Damn, I got a lot to
Yeah.
learn.
There's a great podcast called Mormon Stories Podcast. That's a great one. You can go and learn.
I might have to listen to that just to get some context, so I know what I'm getting into when I fly over there and start walking
you
around
won't
with my
see-
dick out.
In northern Utah, you won't see them very often. It's
Hmm.
very rare. In southern Utah, though, with the Warren Jeffs crowd, where he marries 12-year-old girls,
He's in prison now.
Look,
Yeah, he's in prison.
look, they're ripe. It's it used to be that way back in the 1800s. Just saying.
Thank you for joining
it
us
fucks
on this
me?
episode of Nude Clan.
What is the end of this episode?
I don't know. We're at.
You started talking about like marrying 12-year-olds, then I tried to make jokes about it, and then it just got awkward.
No, yeah. Anyway, that's the other Mormons. That's
Hmm.
the Warren Jeff Mormons, which give honestly the real Mormons a bad name. 'Cause it's
I
like,
mean, some of the real Mormons give themselves a bad
Uh,
name too. So
Just
Anyway,
seems like a very
fair.
volatile community,
no,
if I may say
there's
so.
it can be
the
It
main
can be.
Mormon church, which has like bazillions of people in it. There are more Mormons than there are Jewish people in the world, by the way. So
Damn.
it's like a big group. And then
Is
are the
Utah bigger than
offshoot
Israel?
groups. No, Utah's not. Actually, there's more Mormons in California than there are in Utah.
That's weird. All right.
Yeah. There's just, there's less people in Utah and it's a higher concentration. So
Yeah.
it's like 60% Mormon here. So it's pretty high. And it's pretty high in Idaho and Nevada and Colorado too.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like there's the main Mormon church, and they used to be like pretty effed up, and then they got like more modernized about 1920. And so now like that's Mormonism now. It's got the most people. It's basically when you're saying Mormon, that's who they are. And of course they don't want to say they're Mormon anymore because the new president of the church said that it's not okay to say that.
After the last one did a whole campaign on.
Yeah, and apparently he's been doing that his entire life. And then finally he gets into the position of power and he decides that it's a decree from God.
I was about to say that's
he
kind of
looks-
fucked up that your church has a president, but then I forgot the Pope exists. So
Bro, the
then-
the current president of the church looks like Darth Sidious, dude. Look at his face.
hold on, I gotta see. Let's see.
And then there are offshoot groups that started at different times when the Mormon church decided to do a new decree or a new like big law, and then there'd be like an offshoot group that would form that would be like, well, you're no longer following the
Holy
rules of
shit.
God.
No, this guy does look like Darth Sidious. He's got like fucking like every time he smiles, his cheeks go in like all the way. And there's literally a picture of him doing this with his fingers, where he's like making a tent with his fucking fingers, like an evil guy would do.
I told you.
That's
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
that's insane. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we had a
something
pope that
else.
looked like Darth Sidious, but I think he's dead now.
Yeah, because Darth Vader threw him into the reactor core.
Yeah.
But there was like the RLDS church, which has now become like the liberal Mormon church. That was the that's not actually, they have some other name now, but like women have the priesthood and stuff like that. Like it's like the super like it's the one that
Sounds like a
was their
failing
first-
sounds like
the
a failing
first offshoot
venture.
one. And then and there's like, there's like land having to do with like the quote unquote like Holy Land in Missouri.
Dude, that's my plan
ready
for
for this?
getting no.
And the main Mormon church owns like 3/4 of it, and then 1/4 is owned by the RLDS church.
So
Um,
A4, the Mormons believe that Missouri is the place to meet up in the last days because that's where the Garden of Eden was.
That's where the Garden of Eden was.
Missouri, A4.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's actually a
Missouri.
very, very pretty area.
Right under
but,
the arch.
And
Um,
then. And
So wait, real
then-
quick. My plan.
I'm trying to explain the different Mormon.
Yeah, but
offshoots.
this is tied to Missouri real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
My plan to lower housing prices in Utah is to start a rumor that it's time for the Saints to go to Missouri. And so they will all run away so fast
Oh, nice.
that I will have a house.
They
Yeah,
just
no
come
thanks to
back after nothing
detective
happens. You're
Mormon.
like squatters' rights. Sorry.
Oh, and then in 1920, when they outlawed polygamy in the main church, so like there's a bunch of polygamous jokes about Mormons,
Very not
and
based, by
like
the way.
it's like 100 years ago that was a thing, and it's no longer a thing. So like as a Mormon or now as an ex-Mormon, when they're like, oh, how many moms did you have? I fucking want to like beat their head in. I'm like, fuck you, you piece of shit, you uneducated piece of shit. But then that's where the other Mormons start coming in.
Mm.
And there's not really like one group, there's like many groups, and sometimes just individual groups, like families that are doing this. And that includes the quote unquote, prophet Warren Jeffs, and then other little prophets. Or like I had a roommate who had two moms and a dad. And it was just because he just decided to do some research, and he found that the main Mormon church wasn't true, and that they really went astray when they stopped doing polygamy, and that's the real thing. And so he decided he wanted to fuck two women at the same time.
As
You
you
know
do.
what? Good for him. Polyamory is big
and
right
so
now.
and so he said that obviously like God told him that must be the right thing to do. I think I made a short where I put all my hatred of all this stuff into like one little like short. I think it's called Emmanuel Song. You can find it on YouTube.
Oh, is that okay? I still haven't seen Emmanuel Song. I gotta get around to that.
It's all right. It's all right. It's got some problems, but I'm pretty proud of that short. But it definitely puts all of my stuff in it. Definitely puts all of my like. You gross
I
me.
think you should go to mass more often. The nice thing about the Catholics, as far as I know, is they keep all of their polygamy and incest a big secret. So there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
The best thing about the Catholic Church is you can confess your sin, so it's okay if you fuck one of the chicks there.
Yeah.
Just go
Anyway,
just go next week and go, Father, I have to confess a
Like-
sin.
I tripped
Yeah,
and
I
fell
know.
inside Susie's bunghole on Saturday. Then you say 2 Hail Marys and you're good to go.
I think it's interesting the thing that the Catholic Church did where they hid the child molesting, and they like shifted those priests around like all over the world, right?
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
No, yeah, it's super crazy and gross and stuff like that. But what it is actually suggesting, if we're gonna take the moral part out of it, like, let's put that to the side for like 1 second. I know it's not something that we should do or that's necessarily fun to do.
Okay.
But like, look at it this way: it's actually the Catholic Church going, we don't respect your government, and we know how to deal with these people better than you do because God is like who we deal with and not governments. So I get, like, I kind of get, if they are true believing Catholics and they believe that they have that right to do that, then they go, okay, well, he confessed and he's going through like he's doing his repentance right now, and this is how we deal with it. We don't put people in jail. We don't deal with those other laws. Like, this is how we handle these situations.
Yeah.
And it's just really just an interesting perspective on it. It's definitely not right, but it's an interesting perspective on it
Look,
I've just been thinking about.
I've been atheist since like I want to say just after high school. So my lukewarm ass, edgy 16-year-old atheist take. Religion's just a tool. Doesn't always have to be a bad tool, but a lot of people will use
bro.
it for evil deeds. That's just how it is.
So it's just a tool, man. It just like, man.
God, hold on. I have a CBD vape I can take a puff of here while I fucking.
Like, it's all about power, man. It's like, when people have the power and they need you to like keep their power going.
And I mean, like, the real God is like money, man. I mean, like, when you really think about it.
When I took mushrooms, man, I saw what the universe was made out of, man. And I'm telling you, it's not a bearded dude in the sky, man.
It's not funny. I have a friend who talks like that.
It's actually like it's actually a lady with 6 legs, like a spider, like Shelob.
Man, it's like there's another dimension, dude, and that dimension, like beings and stuff, you couldn't even believe, man.
Bro, this episode's almost 2 hours long.
You know, sometimes I just want to chill and chat. Zach,
Yeah, sometimes we want to talk about the viscosity of our cum, and
know
sometimes we want to talk about how religion's bullshit. You know
what?
normal dude shit.
Have you beaten Bad Boys yet?
Never gonna now. I'm never going to.
It's next on the list. We're waiting for you.
We'll find out.
Anyway, man.
Jesus Christ. We're down to 3 viewers, and I'm one of them.
and I'm another one of them. I think
All right, we're done.
Yeah.
I think
Schweiss
Ultima,
wasn't here because he had to go to work.
think
and we decided
Ultima
to do a
is the
different
last
day.
You know, like,
one
what
watching.
even is work, man?
Yeah, man. Like, what even is belief, dude?
We're all slaves to the man. I mean, like,
Well,
It's like,
Yeah.
what are you, man? Like, what am I, man?
Like, do any of us
are
really
you
have to
even
work?
real?
because the work will get done anyway. They're not going to let society just crumble.
Am I the only thing that's actually living, and everything else around me is just a simulation to make me feel alive?
The way you just did your lips reminded me of the Elon Musk picture when he's like, hi, and it was so fucking funny.
Yo, what if you, like, met a girl with one boob, like, in the middle of her chest, like in Kung Pao?
Bro, then you are the chosen one.
Dude, would you have to touch it? Like, I know that sexual assault's wrong or anything, but I mean, if you just saw like one boob just standing there, would you have to touch it?
I think I'd have to take that chance. I mean, I would be nice. I would ask. When else are you going to get to touch a one boob chick in your entire life, man? I mean, fuck
Yeah,
me.
man. But like, how do you bring it up, you know?
I'd be like, hey, I noticed you have one tit.
Bro, it's all about just ask, man. It's all about consent, bro. Just say, can I touch the titty?
Thank you for listening to this episode of Nude. Please ask.
Thank you for listening to this episode where we reviewed Stray.
Please,
You can
leave us
find a
questions
review between
the
hour
After Dark
1 and
questions
between
area.
hour 2 of this podcast.
Oh my god. Yo, like, what if a cat was like around robots? What do you think the robots would do?
Dude, I got.
What do you think the cat would do? Do you think he would knock shit over?
It's like THX 1138, robots like iRobot and cats.
Do you think when they play the THX sound at the beginning of the movie, they're trying to make you hungry? This is fucking
Okay,
stupid.
well-
When was the last time you even heard that in front of a movie, dude?
Yeah, it's not that anymore. Join us next time on the Nude Clan.
Yeah, join us
I-
next time. Please, again, After Dark questions, because we're definitely gonna have an After Dark thing coming up because we're not. Zach isn't caught up on games, and so
You're right. Because it's a holiday.
even though Bad Boys is 2.5 hours.
Bro,
long.
I don't have a time to go get the
Bro,
game.
just get 5 hours of sleep one night. Play the game for
No.
the other 3.
No. My job that actually pays me requires me to not be tired.
Hey, we're gonna give you a weekend of your life.
Zach.
We're gonna give you the weekend of your life. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna use that fucking. We're gonna use that banked money we have to give you a great weekend with A4.
We at least have to get one stripper to come over to your apartment.
That's gonna
Dude,
be
come
hard
on,
to
come
find a
come
stripper in
come up
this
here,
area.
Zach. We're gonna have a great weekend. We're gonna go to Hershey Park. We're gonna go Christmas Candy Lane. We're gonna.
I will say, oh, did I mention that I went to my first ever strip club here?
No?
It wasn't really a strip club. No, I went to that nude or that topless show though.
No, you did.
You didn't tell us that.
Because then I told
Oh,
you
I
guys
did
about
bring it
buck
up.
rubs.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That was great. I
Well-
love breasts, dude.
Dude, what if you had breasts? What would you do?
I do.
Live always in the nude.
Not your line.
Well, no, because Schweiss isn't here.
Do your best twice.
Live always in the nude.
That one's just gonna be for the visual people, podcast people.
Yeah, that's just for the visual.
One of us is
Uh,
gonna get canceled someday because of what you just did, Zach.
But it's
And I hope
it's gonna be
Schweiss.
me, ironically, because I'm the whitest guy here. Walk with your free donuts and coffee held high.
Meow.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck off.
Dude, what if you like fucked off and then music played?